Several draftees have been placed in pretty tough situations.
Mike. Hey, man, you ready to be a Falcon, bro? All right.
It already feels like their rookie years are just gonna be completely forgettable. So with that said, let's dive into 10 NFL rookies who are in horrific situations entering the 2024 season. Michael Penix Jr. Without a doubt, the biggest shocker of the 2024 NFL draft was when the Atlanta Falcons took Washington QB Michael Penix Jr. with the number 8 pick. While he was expected to be a top 15 selection, nobody had Penix Jr. going to an Atlanta team that just handed $100 million guaranteed to former Minnesota Vikings Pro Bowl quarterback Kirk Cousins.
Have you talked to Kirk yet?
Yeah, so he did reach out. We had a very good conversation, but he reached out last night.
What was that conversation like?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it, just between me and him right now.
For Penix, the ideal scenario would have been for him to land on a team like the Denver Broncos, Las Vegas Raiders, or heck, even the local Seattle Seahawks. That is, a team without a long-term option at QB that could have offered him the chance to be the full-time starter within a year or two. But even though Cousins is entering his age 36 season, he showed zero signs of decline before he suffered a season-ending Achilles tear last year. Cousins could very well perform well through the duration of the 4-year deal, and Penix will be 28 years of age by the time Captain Kirk's contract actually expires. For Penix, this was a horrible situation to land in. Who cares what the naysayers are saying about him as a prospect? The concern is that even if he does pan out in the NFL, Penix will have had several years gobbled up simply by sitting behind Cousins. He won't admit it, but you just know deep down that he would have rather landed on a QB-needy team that would have made him a starter by 2025. Kinda got a feel for both Cousins and Penix here. Brian Thomas Jr. When it came to the star LSU wideout, we just kept thinking of the Buffalo Bills, Pittsburgh Steelers, and Kansas City Chiefs as the ideal landing spots. Thomas should be an impact player right away, and it would have been nice to see him join a playoff contending team that sorely needed another stud receiver. But instead, Thomas fell to the Jacksonville Jaguars at number 23 overall. That's why Jacksonville feels like an odd landing spot for Thomas. Kirk is T-Law's go-to guy in the passing game. Etienne has accumulated over 1,400 yards in each of his last 2 years. Ingram is Lawrence's third down and red zone security blanket, and Davis was signed to be the deep threat in Jacksonville. So where does Thomas fit in here? There are too many players for Lawrence to distribute the ball to. With a team like Buffalo or KC, Thomas would have been the undisputed WR1. Instead, he'll likely be the number 3 or 4 target at best for Lawrence in his rookie year. Ricky Perol. In another draft day stunner, the San Francisco 49ers used the number 31 pick on Florida Gators wide receiver Ricky Perol. This move was surprising for 2 reasons. One, the 49ers already have 4 superstar offensive weapons in Christian McCaffrey, George Kittle, Brandon Ayuk, and Deebo Samuel. What's the point of adding another receiver when cornerback and O-line were greater needs? Secondly, Perol felt like a big-time reach here. Better receivers like Matt McConkey, Keon Coleman, Xavier Legette, and Adonai Mitchell were there for the taking. So anyway, how is Perol going to produce as a rookie when the 49ers have the league's best running back, a top 3 tight end, and 2 of the league's most explosive pass catchers? Like Jacksonville's big 4 offensive weapons, each of these 4 guys on the 49ers can easily exceed 1,000 yards of offense. The Perol selection just might work out in the long run, especially if San Fran ends up trading Ayuk or Samuel. Only time will tell if this pick actually pans out. But one thing is for sure, Perol landed in a situation where he can't realistically expect to make a great first-year impression. Michael Hall Jr. The Cleveland Browns got great value when they landed Ohio State defensive tackle Michael Hall Jr. with the number 54 pick. The problem for Hall is that he's probably NFL ready, yet he landed on the team that has arguably the best front 7 in all of football. The Browns front 7 is led by superstar Myles Garrett and veteran standouts Dalvin Tomlinson, Shelby Harris, and Za'Darius Smith. Rotational pieces like Maurice Hurst II and Alex Wright will get their fair share of snaps too. Hall is a decorated pass rusher who could have been a day 1 starter on a team that, well, doesn't have the Browns' scary good defensive line depth. So don't expect many names for the rookie in Jim Schwartz's star-studded defense. Amari Mims. depending on who you ask, some scouts viewed Mims as a plug-and-play guy who could start right away. Now that we see which team he landed with, that's not going to be the case in 2024. The Cincinnati Bengals used the number 18 pick on the Georgia offensive tackle. This move was also a bit of a head-scratcher because, well, the Bengals already have two veteran mainstays at defensive tackle in Orlando Brown Jr. and free agent signing Trent Brown. And if Cincy needs a backup to step in, they'd likely turn to 2021 second-round pick Jackson Carman before putting Mims in. So for Mims, the ideal scenario would have been to land on a team that needed a day-one starter like the Steelers, Dallas Cowboys, Green Bay Packers, or Washington Commanders. While one can argue that Mims will benefit from sitting and learning for a year, the other side of the coin is that he needs the learning experience right now to hone his craft. And Mims, well, he's not going to get enough of that as a rookie. Marshon Lloyd. The Dallas Cowboys got a potential steal in Western Michigan defensive end Marshon Lloyd, who fell into their laps in round 2 at number 56 overall. Lloyd was a hidden gem entering this draft, and he certainly could have been penciled in as a starter on several teams. But Lloyd just had to land with a Dallas team that, well, isn't going to give him a whole lot of playing time as a rookie. Dallas already has one of the NFL's best defensive lines led by superstar Micah Parsons and veteran DeMarcus Lawrence. 2023 first-round pick Monsey Smith may end up in a starting role too, and 2022 second-round pick Sam Williams can also expect increased playing time. With the Cowboys in win-now mode, or at the very least that's what Jerry Jones wants you to think, they're not going to rush rookies like Neand. He's going to have to accept a second-stringer job for the bulk of his rookie year before potentially taking over his starting role in 2025. This was a luxury pick for Dallas. Yes, you need defensive line depth in the pros. It's a great pick for the Cowboys, but it's not the best destination for a rookie of Nealon's caliber. The reality is, he too is going to need to sit patiently and wait for his time to shine, whenever that'll be. Darius Robinson. After using the number 4 pick on can't-miss Ohio State wide receiver Marvin Harrison Jr., the Arizona Cardinals addressed their other pressing need by snagging Missouri defensive end Darius Robinson with the 27th selection. The problem for Robinson is that he doesn't have much of a supporting cast here. Arizona had the league's worst rushing defense in 2023 and the number 31 scoring D last season. Dennis Gardeck led the Redbirds with just 6 sacks. Yet, no other Cardinal topped 4. GM Monty Ossenfort didn't do much to bolster the front 7 either, so that means Robinson is going to have such limited help as a rookie, and that he'll be facing an unfair amount of pressure to perform on Jonathan Gannon's defense right away. Pro Bowl safety Budda Baker is the only legitimate game changer on that Arizona defense. Opposing teams will pick apart the secondary and run the ball down the Cardinals' throats with relative ease, and Robinson will oftentimes be left in no man's land. Now imagine if he was on a team with an elite supporting cast like the Kansas City Chiefs, Baltimore Ravens, Detroit Lions, or Houston Texans. Oh boy, then we would be talking. J.C. Latham. It felt like 90-something% of NFL mock drafts had the Tennessee Titans taking Notre Dame offensive tackle Joe Alt at number 7. Well, that proposed pairing was foiled when the Los Angeles Chargers took Alt at number 5. The Titans addressed the O-line anyway, taking Alabama offensive tackle J.C. Latham with their first-round selection. Latham certainly fits the mold of what the Titans want to do. They want to play bully ball and win with physicality and a prolific rushing game, but Latham's first-year outlook does not look promising. Pro Football Focus ranked the Titans O-line as the worst unit for all of 2023. They allowed 64 sacks and finished dead last in PFF's rankings for pass blocking efficiency. Latham will presumably be a day 1 starter, and we can only ask how he's supposed to flourish as a rookie when he literally has the league's worst group of offensive linemen around him. 2023 first-round pick Peter Skoronski had an uneven rookie year. Again, not that he had much help around him. The same fate now awaits Latham, who is unlikely to stand out in year 1, unless the Titans' entire O-line somehow improves drastically. And who's to think that'll happen? Jalen Polk. The New England Patriots knew that they had to get a wide receiver in round 2 after using the number 3 pick on North Carolina quarterback Drake May. But it was awfully surprising to see them reach for Polk here when the much more decorated Adonai Mitchell was still on the board. Like all rookies, only time will tell us if this pick works out. Unlike most other guys on this list though, Polk should be a week 1 starter. Only issue, he just had to land with New England of all teams. To be perfectly blunt, the Patriots have the NFL's worst set set of offensive skill position guys. They haven't had a 1K receiver since Julian Edelman in 2019. Rookie Demario Douglas led the team in receiving a year ago with only 561 yards. Polk will either be getting the ball from journeyman QB Jacoby Brissett or the aforementioned May, an unproven rookie who will need time to refine his skills in the pros. Either option does not put Polk in a good spot to produce right away. And even though Bill Belichick is gone, you just figure that this will be a rush-first offense under new head coach Jared Mayo. So couple that with the Patriots' giant question mark at QB, and it's safe to say that Polk won't be in a position to produce much as a rookie. Marshon Lloyd. Now, we're not going to critique this pick for the Green Bay Packers whatsoever. We didn't like the A.J. Dillon pick at first back in 2020 with Aaron Jones already in the fold, but hindsight informed everyone that the Pack knew what they were doing there. Yes, the Packers signed 2022 rushing champion Josh Jacobs in free agency, but it's essentially a one-year pact. So if he doesn't work out in Titletown, Green Bay has a potential solution in Lloyd. Obviously, it's hard to see how Lloyd will manage to produce as a rookie in 2024. The Packers have Jacobs and Dillon to lead the two-headed monster in the backfield, so where exactly does he fit in here? The good news for Lloyd is that both Jacobs and Dillon are playing on one-year deals. There's a long-term path there to step in as the Packers RB1, but the USC product is going to have to be patient for playing time, because he is hardly going to see the field in year one. But hey, what other NFL rookies are caught in horrible situations for the 2024 season? Let us know in the comment section below. If you like this video and learned a thing or two, clicking the like button helps out a ton, and hey, we appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, subscribing is a great idea, because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.